What's up, everybody? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in to the Man Cave Sports Talk podcast. I'm your boy, the Sactown Packhound, with my co-host, Tim the Packer Hill. And with further ado, let's go! All right, Tim, let's, well, I know you want to get into a rant, so I will let you get into your rant. I know you've had some issues with the terrific refereeing that has been going on in the NBA lately.
I'm just so sick of everything around referees, whether it be them doing their job correctly and the media bashing them for it, or not doing their job at all. And I got two instances, and it was from last Friday. And it was back-to-back games. So I'm watching the Iowa-UConn women's basketball national semifinal. And the last 7 seconds, there's an illegal screen set by a UConn player who extends a leg, raises an elbow, and clips an Iowa girl and almost knocks her down on a screen. Referee calls it. It is without a doubt a foul. Okay? But because it's within the last however many seconds of the fourth quarter, the media has a shit fit about it. You get LeBron James out there on social media. Nah, it shouldn't have been called, blah, blah, blah. If that happens to him, his ass is on the ground, belly up, and just screaming.
Dude, he would have went 5 rows into the stand.
So not only do we have that issue, in the NBA, Sacramento Kings, Boston Celtics, later that evening, watching the fourth quarter, Kings are down 1. Fox misses a 7-footer. Keegan Murray gets the tip, misses. Our rookie Colby Jones gets another tip, who gets a clotheslined across the face.
Yep.
Literally across the face, misses the tip, and then there's no call.
Right.
So we can't have it both ways here. So I am on the side of do your damn job. And I was screaming at the TV, huge Kings fans, we need these wins. Yep. I mean, we came back from 20 points in the fourth quarter. Yes, it was against like the third string Celtics, but we still need the W. And they get the shaft because those idiots swallow the whistle.
Right.
And then there's nothing said about it.
Right.
Yes, it's the Kings. There's no market. There's no media. No nothing. It's still bullshit. And then you've got the other way where the guy does his job correctly. And then he gets lambasted in the media by all the athletes and all the press row and everybody else that talks about it the next day on the Stephen A. Smith show and all that other shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, do your damn job. Whatever the consequences are, do the right thing.
Yeah.
And you see it in college, but you don't see it in the NBA.
Yeah.
How about we bring the college refs into the NBA and kick all those idiots out there on the take?
What I hate is, the NBA is, out of all the professional leagues, to me, it has to be the worst. If you look at, and I tell my players, and I coach this all the time, if you want to see how to play basketball, don't watch the NBA. NBA is so ridiculous. There is not a play where they come down the court where they don't carry the ball. There's so many instances where they're going up for a dunk and they take 4 steps.
Yeah, there's no free step.
There's illegal screens all the time. And depending on who it's on, like if LeBron James wants a foul and he doesn't get a call, he's not even going to run down the court. He's going to sit in the ref's face. He's going to yell about it. And the next time down the court, no matter what happens, if he touches the ball, there's going to be a foul called, regardless of how it is.
Yeah.
And what I hate is that, especially in the NFL, we have the technology to get these calls right, but there's rules where you can challenge this play, but you can't challenge if you've already used your challenge. Make the damn call right. Use the technology. Who cares if it's a challenge? Those can decide games, and because you challenged a play because it was a terrible call, and even sometimes when they challenge it and it still doesn't get overturned when it clearly should be overturned, and they lose that challenge, and now you can't challenge again, and there's another terrible call later that potentially cost you the game, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I think especially with the NBA, as it's happening more and more throughout the season, that the last few possessions in a game, there's either a bad call or a missed call that's costing teams games.
Right.
You hear it in the media, you hear it in the press conferences after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Those who speak up get fined. Mm-hmm. Those who don't, they just push it under the rug. Mm-hmm. But you still got the 2-minute report that comes out the next day.
Yeah, that says we screwed up. My bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot. But nobody is held accountable for it.
And that's where I think there has to be some type of accountability. I'll take baseball, for instance. Angel Hernandez is the worst umpire possibly in the history of the freaking game.
But he's still back there.
And he's still back there. He has cost somebody a no-hitter. He has so many instances where he takes it personal, and he'll have a pitcher where if he's having a back and forth, there's been so many instances where a pitcher will go strike, 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 and he doesn't even, ball. Ball, right down the middle, ball. And it's just like, you're trying to be a part of the game. You shouldn't be. I mean,
with all of the money that's out there in sports betting, you cannot turn a blind eye to thinking that referees and them don't bet on sports.
Oh, for sure.
Or have family members, friends bet on sports for them.
Yep.
I mean, Donahue was in prison for 2 years for fucking over the Kings.
Yep.
I know you probably bleeped that out, but 2 years for screwing the Kings over when they could have had a championship.
They should have had a championship that year.
So, but in the near future, I really hope that Adam Silver can at least give coaches an opportunity to challenge not only foul calls, but non-calls within the last minute of a game. Give them one. I mean, if there's not a call and the other team gets the ball and they haven't gotten past half court, you should be able to call timeout and challenge it.
What I just wish they would be consistent with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, if Colby Jones of the Kings, young player, not known, not a star, he gets a call that goes against him. If he sits there and gets in the ref's face and starts yelling, he's getting teed up immediately. If he sits there and continues, he's double teed, you're out the game. Yet LeBron James, Draymond Green can sit there and not even run down the court. Sit there and just yell and yell and yell and yell and yell. And they give them chance. And just like the ref walks away.
Yeah.
While they're following them, yelling at him.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, stop. It doesn't matter who they are. You can't do that. Like, make an example. Draymond Green, I'm so tired of that clown.
Yeah,
that dude. Oh, my God.
I cannot believe he is still in the league.
No. He will not be on the Warriors anymore after this year. I mean, you saw after the freaking last ejection when Curry literally was crying. Crying. He is so sick of it. Yeah. Like, it's just like...
I'm sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
And the Warriors are on TV all the time because of Steph Curry.
Yep.
It's not because of Draymond Green.
No, not at all. All right, let's get into our breakdown of the AFC South. We'll start at the top, where I think is going to remain at the top for a long time with the Houston Texans. They had an amazing offseason, signing Stephon Diggs, which is going to be, I think that move is going to be more beneficial for Nico Collins and Tank Dell than it is for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. And Dalton Schultz.
They signed Joe Mixon. Noah
Brown re-signed.
Noah Brown. Was it Daniel Hunter?
Danielle Hunter, yeah.
Danielle Hunter. It's the first time any team has ever signed a player that had 10 sacks, a receiver that had 100 receptions, and a back that had 1,000 yards in the same offseason. Yeah. They were already good. They might have the best receiving core in the league. Tank Dell, I don't know if people remember because he got hurt, was having a phenomenal season.
He was.
Nico Collins is one of my favorite receivers in the league. I don't think people understand how big that dude is. He's a monster. And now to have Stephon Diggs, you can't double team anybody. Nobody.
No.
You're going to have one of those three is going to be lined up in a slot. You're going to have to be trying to have a linebacker cover him.
But how much chaos will Stephon Diggs bring Houston?
Well, here's what they were smart about. they redid his contract and X'd out the extra year. So he's on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
So I think he's going to be on his best behavior because he's going for one more big deal.
Okay.
And so they were smart about that. They're going to, they're going to be eating some money, but they can do that because their quarterback's on a rookie deal. Their receivers are on rookie deals. Oh. They have a lot of money out there. And like I said, he has to come in and prove himself because you're right. He has been known as a troublemaker when you're not getting along with, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But it's also, now you're going from Buffalo where it's freezing and snowing.
Dome.
And now you're playing in a freaking dome where he originally came from with Minnesota. I think it's a match made in heaven. I think that Houston's going to be on top of that division for a long time.
I think it's a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense, they pretty much revamped it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of second and third string guys that are gone.
Yeah.
And they brought in a whole new, their defense is going to look really brand new.
Yeah.
So depending on how that goes, offensively, they're set.
Yeah.
I do believe as long as there's no second year downfall with CJ Stroud, which I hope not because I have good cards of his.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather him be good than not.
Well, his cards are skyrocketing now because of that Stephon Diggs signing. Yeah.
So I hope he gets off to a good start. Mm-hmm. Obviously, draft is coming.
Right.
The scheduling is coming, which I just heard that there's a possibility of Philadelphia, Green Bay first week in Brazil.
Oh my God.
Which will be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's all going to happen, but I read some stuff on it today.
The Texans are also in a division that's not very good. So, they have the opportunity to be on top for a long time.
There's a lot of turnover and there's a lot of young quarterbacks in that division.
Yeah.
So, but not a lot of good defenses.
Yeah. So, moving on, we'll move on to the Indianapolis Colts.
Trash can quarterback.
See, I disagree. I think Anthony Richardson is a very good quarterback. I don't see how you can say he's a trash quarterback when he was having a better year than CJ Stroud before he got hurt, and he had a shit team.
Running the ball, yes. Throwing the ball.
He made some unbelievable throws to nobody. He has Michael Pittman. That's it. Other than that, he has Alec Pierce. You have a fucking 6-foot white dude as your number 2.
That dude was under 60% completions in Florida.
That's in Florida.
I yelled at the TV night in, night out on Saturdays because he was so bad. He is
so bad, he wouldn't have better stats than CJ Stroud.
I'm telling you, this guy is a mess. And
we'll see.
Jamarcus Russell with wheels is this guy.
Nah, come on.
I'm telling you, I'm
a diehard Raiders fan, and you can't compare him.
Jamarcus Russell with wheels.
Jamarcus fucking Russell didn't even want to get better. He didn't even watch tape. That dude was a clown.
I lost 1,000 Cheetos at my TV on Saturdays throwing those things all day.
I think he's an above average quarterback. I think he is what the NFL is trending to. The days of the pocket quarterback are leaving. Every quarterback that's coming into the league now is going to have to be a mobile quarterback. Look at how...
there's mobile and then there's run first guys. Okay, so...
Well, it depends on the freaking team.
Aaron Rodgers is mobile.
He maybe was. See, he's not no more.
He can move within the pocket to escape, okay, and make throws. Anthony Richardson...
Can he? Because he was hurt all last year because he couldn't move too much.
Well, no, he got done with 4 plays in and broke jacked up a leg. But he was coming off of 2 MVP seasons.
Yeah.
So,
But you got to look at the team, too. There's run around and make plays if you got, Mahomes. He can run around and make, plays. He has people to throw the damn ball to. Who is he throwing the ball to? Anthony Richardson does not have a good team. Jonathan Taylor, good back, but coming off.
Would you rather have the receivers in Indy or the receivers in KC?
KC. Rashi Rice is really nice.
Jailbird?
You got Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Travis Kelce, yes.
Blanket. And who has most receptions on KC every year?
It's Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce.
But the thing is
A great tight end makes a quarterback a lot better because that's a safety.
He's also going into his 12th year.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs
are going to be declining for sure.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I mean, they will, if they don't draft a receiver in this first round,
They
I
don't
don't
have to.
completely surprised because
Yeah.
we have no idea what Rashee Rice is going to go
Speaking
through.
of Rashee Rice, completely off the subject, but what a fucking idiot. How do these players not learn Henry Ruggs? For those of you that are old enough, you remember Dante Stallworth from Sacramento, from Grant High School.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's like they have these huge entourages of freaking people. They make all this damn money.
And not one of them is smart.
Not one. Like, I would never drive. And on top of everything else, now I'm not saying he was drunk, but chances are he was probably drinking. That's why he left the scene, which in the long run will probably be smart for him, because if he would have got caught on the scene with alcohol in his system, his career might be over. So leaving the scene, you lost a freaking $300,000 Lamborghini, but they can't prove that you were drinking.
Yeah, but I think leaving the scene is worse than being drunk.
No, because they can't prove that there was nobody killed. So you're just in
So it's slightly better than Henry Ruggs.
Well, that's a lot better than Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs killed somebody, but
And a dog.
it just kills me that these NFL teams do everything. All NBA, MLB, NFL, they have programs for all of their players where all you got to do is pick up the phone and call a damn number and somebody will come pick you up. On top of the fact, you have all these people with you anyway. Why are you driving? And what makes you, if you want a drag race,
That was the...
go to the damn speedway
Yep.
and get on the track and actually drag race. Why do it on a highway where you're going to endanger other freaking people and possibly end your career and or your life?
Because they're idiots.
They're idiots.
There's no
It's just
getting there.
I don't even want to call them idiots, because I know
Moron word?
when you're young, you just have a lot of people have, I know I did. I had that mentality when you are young where it's like you don't understand your mortality. You don't understand that it could end like that. You're young. You think it's going to last forever. He's making a ton of money. He's at the top of the freaking, mountain. How can it ever end? Henry Ruggs thought the same thing. Now he's in a prison yard.
Yep.
And it's like, it can go that. I tell my kids that all the time. You could do the same thing 1,000 times. It takes one time.
Yeah.
And your life is changed forever.
Rice is going to miss games.
He's going to miss games.
Don't know how many.
I think he'll miss 4 games. That's what
You think it'll be 4?
just because they're not going to be able to prove anything other than he caused an accident. And that's what I'm saying. He was, as stupid as it was, he was smart for leaving the scene, because if they would have caught him on the scene, especially after the Henry Ruggs incident, and they took his blood alcohol level and that shit was twice the legal limit, it would have been a wrap. He definitely would have been suspended for the year. Now he's definitely going to, miss the games. They have to make some type of example out of it, especially after the Henry Ruggs thing.
Right.
But
I mean, just where does it fit in the line of stupidity?
right.
I mean,
it is absolutely mind-boggling, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely freaking mind-boggling.
all right. Back to Richardson.
Yeah.
Sucks. He still sucks.
I'd pick him in fantasy. I'll tell you that, because my son had him and he whipped Tim's ass with him. I think that's why he's mad.
No,
I think so.
He wasn't playing when he played me. He had other guys.
Anthony Richardson was balling for my son when he had him, though.
Yeah, I had a rough fantasy year because my guys got all injured early.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me, dude.
So-
I had Justin Jefferson,
But I mean-
my number 1 pick.
But at least they got Joe Flacco to back him up now
Yeah,
because he's there.
yeah. Hey, Joe Flacco came off the couch and did his thing last year.
They did lose Minshew to the Raiders.
Yeah.
But they got a couple defensive tackles. Raekwon Davis, Grover Stewart.
I think that they have to. I think that they have to get another receiver. They have a lot of needs, but they have to get another receiver to go opposite Michael Pittman.
Yeah, but that won't. I don't think that'll happen until the second round. I truly believe
There's a lot of receivers in this draft.
Yeah,
though, a lot of receivers.
But their main need is to keep Anthony Richardson upright.
For sure.
And keep him hopefully not having to run, because when he runs, he's going to get hurt.
Yep.
Already seen. Out for however many games because of a concussion. So if you're out that many games because of a concussion, we've already got problems.
Yep.
So O-line all day. Help him.
So we will move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm so back and forth with this team. I never was a believer in Trevor Lawrence. I thought he was anointed as the next great one way too early. And now they went and got rid of Calvin Ridley. I love Travis Etienne. I love that guy. I think he's a baller. I love how he runs. But I just think I don't think they have enough firepower to compete. They took a big step backwards last year. They started off 6-3, and I believe they ended 3-6.
It was not good. No.
Yeah, I mean, they went backwards big time. Trevor Lawrence started off really good, came down to earth. And like I said, with them losing Calvin Ridley, I mean, who's he throwing the ball to?
Gabe Davis.
Yeah, but Gabe Davis is a deep threat. He's not a possession receiver.
Zay Jones is still there. They picked up Devin Duvernay from Baltimore, but he's probably more of their return guy.
Yeah.
Unless they convert him back over into wide receiver where he should have been.
They might have to.
Yeah.
They might not have a choice.
Yeah, they lost Calvin Ridley. Defensively, they picked up Armstead and
Yeah, I mean,
Ronald
defensively, if they want to make the playoffs, they are going to have to do what the Chiefs did this year. And their defense is going to have to carry them to it. And if ETN gets hurt, dude, they're going to be
and I hope not, because
no,
I may be drafting him pretty high.
He is a baller.
Because he is a really good back out of the backfield. He can run really well.
Yeah.
He can catch really well. I think he needs to touch the ball a lot more than what he did last year.
Yeah.
Tank Bigsby is still kind of an unknown as a backup, being a rookie last year, but ETN is a really good player.
Yeah, no, ETN's a baller, dude. I think he's one of the best backs, and he's so undervalued, in my opinion. You don't hear about him a lot.
No.
But you look at his stats, and you're like, how the hell is this guy not spoken about as one of the best backs in the league?
He was great for me.
He was
He was absolutely amazing for my fantasy team. And the fact that he's got the Clemson connection with Trevor Lawrence for 2 years or so.
Yep.
So he's with him forever.
Yeah.
So they should have good.
No, I think in the draft, I think they have to go offense. They definitely need a few things. You know, like I said, I think they're good at running back. They definitely need some wide receivers. Tight end.
Their tight end is good. I mean, I would take Evan Ingram over most tight ends.
Evan Ingram, how old is he now?
I think he came out in 17 or 18.
17.
So he's only six years in.
Yeah. If he could stay on the field.
But he's a big target.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's above average. I wouldn't put him in the upper echelon of tight ends.
I think he's a top 10. There's not a lot of great tight ends.
There's a lot of young tight ends, though.
Correct.
A lot of young tight ends coming into the league. Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid. I mean, there's some ballers out there. Even Michael Mayer of the Raiders. He's really good, I think, too. There's another one coming out, you know what I'm saying, this year. Brock Bowers is going to be, you know what I'm saying, really good, too.
Yeah, I really hope he goes to the Jets.
Yeah, he's gonna go top 10. I think for sure.
I'll tell you. We'll talk about the draft here in a little bit of how things may shake out because it's only a couple weeks away. Actually, it's
April 26th.
Yeah,
or April 24th, 25th. It's at the end of April.
Yeah, so we're 2 weeks from Thursday is first round.
Yep.
Yeah. Next year's draft is in Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
I will be there.
Nice.
I am going to go to the draft there.
Nice.
Maybe we'll bring this podcast with us.
Yeah, that'd be dope. And the last team in this division, the Tennessee Titans, man,
complete overhaul.
They did a complete overhaul. They did pick up Calvin Ridley, which is odd that a receiver goes inter-division, but especially a number one receiver. Will Levis is definitely going to be their quarterback going forward.
Yes.
And losing losing Henry is going to be big. I do like Tyjae Spears. I think he's a good back. He's not Derrick Henry.
But there's nothing different between him and Tony Pollard, so I don't even know why Tony Pollard.
That was such a lateral freaking move. I did not understand that when they did it. He underwhelmed so bad last year.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it's just something with the Cowboys. I swear to you, dude, you look at their backs and they have great years and then they get a good contract and then they're just like, below average.
Yeah, I mean, they were missing some offensive linemen, which probably didn't help. But here we go. Listen to that stupid bullshit all day. He probably got bored back there. Here we go. We're going to throw another ball to the other team.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what happened with Tony Pollard. He was set to be a really good back, and he disappointed, and then he moves on to a spot where Tyjae Spears is the equivalent of him.
Yep.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah, I don't see the difference. Unless he's going to be used strictly as a third down back. But then again, like you said, Tyjae Spears is the same thing. So,
but look out for Tennessee's defense.
No, Tennessee's defense.
They were able to acquire L'Jarius Sneed from Kansas City.
Yep.
And they
got
got
a big move.
Awuzie from Cincinnati to fill out the other cornerback spot. So they're going to be able to cover some people.
The problem is they're not going to be able to put up points.
We'll see.
I mean, they got DeAndre Hopkins, who's about, 90? Yeah. He's up there.
But
he's still a good receiver.
They still have Treylon Burks, who they picked in the first round a couple years ago, who's been hurt.
He's been okay. He hasn't turned any freaking heads.
No, because I don't think he's had opportunities. You've had Ryan Tannehill in and out of the lineup.
He's not going to get any opportunities now. They got Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he turns out to be a really good 3, that maybe turn into a 2 that takes Hopkins out. If Will Levis shows up and starts balling, don't be surprised that this team can actually sneak into a playoff spot.
I think it's going to be hard for him. I think it's going to be hard, but you never know.
I would love for Will Levis to play well.
No, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Tennessee fan.
Mayo, man.
But, man, watching him play in college was great. He was...
No, he's got a cannon. I mean, he showed some real signs last year, especially the first, saying early on when DeAndre Hopkins had 4 touchdowns with them, and then I went and picked him up off the waiver wire, and I don't think he scored another touchdown the rest of the year. But
yeah, I know he's really hit and miss now. I mean, he is starting. I mean, he was drafted in 2013, so he's up there. He's now in 11th year coming up.
Yeah.
So I mean, how much deterioration is coming?
A lot of miles off the legs.
And that's the thing is you've got Devontae Adams out there in 2014, so he's up into his 10th year.
He is.
I mean, how many more years are these guys going to be able to do what they do?
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this year. I think it's going to be good. Oh, Jesus. God, shit.
Are we losing?
Sacramento's up 71-69.
Yeah, we were up 20.
They've been outscored 24-7 in the third.
That's why I don't even watch it anymore. Dude, we have given up so many 20-point leads in the second half this year. It drives me crazy.
I should never have looked.
That's why I was so upset when we did not do a single thing at the trade deadline. And
we didn't have injury. So, all right, we're going to pivot to the Kings right now because I just looked at the score of the Kings Thunder game, and we were up 19 at the half. We were up 20 towards the end of the half. It turned to 19, and now they're up 2 in the third, only halfway through, being outscored 24-7. They either have really, really good third quarters or really, really awful third quarters. Yep. There's no in between.
We don't know how to win. I don't understand how we still don't know how to hold a freaking lead, man.
I don't know.
It drives me crazy.
You have a point guard that can get downhill against anybody. Break the streak.
Yep.
Get to the cup. Get downhill.
Yep.
Make a play for somebody else. But when the other guys can't shoot, and this is the problem that I see with the Kings, is when they go through lulls of shooting, their defense deteriorates.
Well, that's the problem, is our defense, man. Like our offense is fine. Yeah, we go through low spots here and there, but giving up a 20-point lead, that's just you're not playing defense.
And we've done it
so many damn
way too many times.
So many. But what's crazy is that watch. This game will go into the fourth quarter. It'll be a really, really close game. And you'll watch for a 2-minute span. We will play lockdown defense. We will look like a totally different team and then give up a wide open shot for a game winner or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. That's why we were talking earlier. And that's why I think Kevin Huerter has played his last game as a King, because Keon Ellis came in. He provides a spark, but his perimeter defense is so much better. Kevin Huerter doesn't play defense.
No.
And he's so streaky with his threes. Yeah, when he's on, he's money. But how many times is he on and how many times is he off? I'd rather take a player that's going to average 5 less points a game, but lock down on the perimeter, rather than someone like Huerter, who once every 7-8 games is going to have a good game.
Yeah, we're also missing Monk.
That's a huge
The shoulder. He's out, 4 weeks?
Said 4 to 6 weeks and he'll be re-evaluated, but he said he's trying to come back sooner. So
we need him before the end of next week so we can use him in the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Because if we can't win out, and say New Orleans loses 1, that's the only chance we have to get to the 6th seed.
right.
5 is way ahead now. With our 2 losses to Dallas,
Yep.
they've gotten away. But the Suns and the Pelicans are only 1 game ahead. We play them twice, or we play each of those teams this week.
Yep.
So when we come home for our last 3-game homestand, those are the next 2 teams in line, starting Thursday and Friday, or Thursday and Sunday, or whatever the days are. And those have to be wins. We have to win out and have New Orleans lose 1. And they got the Warriors and the Lakers the last 2 games, which they could easily lose 1 or both of those.
Right.
Especially if those 2 teams are still fighting for whoever wants the 9 and whoever wants the 10, because the top 10 are set.
Well, you know,
Just
the
order.
you know the league is going to make sure that the freaking Lakers have the best shot of getting in without being in the freaking
And that's the thing.
play-in.
If the Kings do end up in the play-in tournament instead of 6th, being 7 is at least more helpful. At least they'll host the first game, and then if they lose, they will host the second game.
Right.
But if they somehow drop to 9, they're screwed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they can host, either the Warriors or the Lakers, which they won't get any calls.
Nope.
It will be a travesty in itself. And then even if they do beat that team, they got to go on the road, and they're going to get smoked by one of the other 2 guys.
Yep. Yeah, I don't understand how we've taken, in my opinion, such a big step backwards. That's why, like I said, I really like Mike Brown. I think he's a really, really good coach. But
Some of their defensive schemes,
some of the schemes, some of the substitutions, the fact that we cannot hold a freaking lead, man, it's like something has to change.
but I don't know where this defense of trying to trap point guards or trap individual players with the ball with Domas or Alex Len, with whoever's guarding him, putting a double team on the ball, and then the pass getting into the free throw line, and then it's a 3-on-2 at that point in time.
Yeah.
Where did that start? Because every time that occurs and they don't get a steal or a turnover,
Right. Wide open shot.
it's an easy shot, and mainly an easy 3.
Yep. Uncontested.
So, I mean, I don't know where that came from, but it's been happening the last month or so.
I think it's because our perimeter defense is so shitty. We're trying to play man D, but we get beat so easy. He's trying to do something to where he can not play a man, because we've been playing a lot more zone, and that we don't rotate correctly. And it's just, it's frustrating to watch.
The rotations, when you see uncontested 3-pointers from mainly the best shooters on the team.
Yep.
So they're blitzing someone, and the ball's getting past the blitz.
Yep.
And it's a wide open
Just
shot from
pass,
behind.
wide open. Pass, wide open.
Yeah, and it's not the first pass; it's always the second. So I don't know. I know they're not idiots. But somehow their rotations are becoming flawed
Yeah.
more and more.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, when we need to step up, we're not, man.
and the turnovers are killing me.
Killing us.
And
dude.
I love Sabonis to death. I love his motor. I love how he thinks on the floor. I don't love his turnovers. Every time he turns the ball over 4 times in a game or more, we lose.
Yeah.
I
mean, it doesn't fucking help that every single game he comes out of the game looking like he was in a UFC fight and he has 3 fouls. He's been to the line twice.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous watching that. Whereas, like, if that was LeBron James, and he got the exact same minutes, the exact same plays happen, he'd be on the free throw line 15 times a game.
Yeah.
And Sabonis is on the line 2 or 3 times. It is ridiculous. Just like we were talking about the refs earlier, how there's a ref from me to you, and he gets cracked across the face and nothing. And it happens all the time.
Yeah,
and he's just not the kind that's going to sit there and complain. He'll look at him and he'll say something as he's like running down, but that's it. He's not going to sit there and be in his face yelling and bitching and complaining. But then you look, he's got scratches across his arm. He's got a welt on his eye.
Yeah.
It's like,
he gets beat up a lot, and
a lot.
And it's terrible.
It's crazy.
I mean, I was watching the game earlier where he got called for the offensive foul for low on the shoulder into Chet Holmgren.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing: Chet Holmgren is literally 2 sticks for legs that can't hold up weight.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is blow on him and he falls over. And he put a shoulder into him like he puts a shoulder into anybody who's guarding him down there. And Chet topples over. They call the offensive foul.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, guys.
It's because Chet Holmgren is what, 7'3" and weighs like 195 pounds?
Yeah,
Like, it's ridiculous.
Pretty much.
Ridiculous.
So
I actually wanted to talk about something you're probably not going to agree with, but
let's go.
I've been coaching for a long time. I have my boys' season's over. I'm coaching my girls' team. And I was having a conversation. I actually got kind of mad at him yesterday because we were having a really sloppy practice. We're undefeated going into the playoffs here in a couple weeks. All the teams in the league are kind of aiming for us. And I got a few girls on my team that they have the ability to take their game to that next level. They're really good. They're really, really dominant. But they don't always take it serious, right?
Okay.
They come to practice and sometimes they're really locked in. Sometimes they come there and they're more interested in kind of talking with the other girls and goofing around. And I'm not that kind of coach. When you're at practice, we're freaking practicing.
Is this a rec league or a comp league?
It is a rec league, but it's a comp league. We play against other it's not like we have a rec league. We just play in our league. We play against other rec leagues around the city. So a lot of these girls I've had on my team for like 3 or 4 years, 7th, 8th grade. Okay. And I stopped practice yesterday about 15 minutes early because I was frustrated with how we were playing. And I was telling them, this is the first time that I could ever remember where collegiate sports right now in basketball, in my opinion, the women's game is way more intriguing than the men's game to me right now. I was so much more interested in Iowa, LSU, South Carolina, UConn. I was so much more interested in watching them play than I was the boy. I could care less. It wasn't even interesting to me.
Yeah, well, they have the more notable players, the ones that are in your face all the time. The Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reeses.
Angel Reese,
So
Camila Cordosa, Cameron Brink.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, on top of that, girls are staying in college for 4 years, where the boys are one and done. So they cannot keep making a name. I mean, Zach Edey, but I mean,
he's not even touted to be a top,
no.
however many.
It's just, he's huge. You know what I'm saying? That's it. There was nobody where I was like, in the men's game, where I was like, dude, I want to see that game. But when Iowa and UConn played, I was like, dude, I have to watch that. You know what I mean? With South Carolina, it was the same thing with South Carolina that it was when the Chiefs won the bowl. And I said then, I picked the Chiefs to win, not because I think they had a better team. I think the Niners had a better team. I picked them to win because of their coach. And it was the same thing with South Carolina. I think Dawn Staley is one of the greatest coaches that's ever, you know what I'm saying, coach. Yeah. She's amazing. And now we have Lindsey Harding of the Stockton Kings, who's getting interviewed for the Charlotte Hornets head coaching job. Will she get it? Probably not. But she's leading the Stockton Kings to a championship run. You know what I'm saying? And right now, it's a time where it's kind of pivoting, where the women's game is at a pinnacle that I've never seen before.
But the women's game is at the pinnacle within college. It's still not there at the WNBA level.
But it will be. When these players are getting to the freaking league, it's going to transfer to that, because it's going to be the same thing. All these players that are great at college are coming into the WNBA. And like I said, the landscape is changing. When you look at Caitlin Clark, the way she was shooting that ball, bro, it was legit Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah.
When she is coming down and doing 30-foot step backs to the side, and it's nothing but net.
She was the only reason I watched.
It was unbelievable. But the thing about it is, it's just like, if you look at basketball in the 80s for the men, right? A lot more physical, a lot more, you come in here and you're going to get your ass knocked down. You might get punched in the face. You're not even going to get kicked out the game. You're just going to fight. You're not Bad Boys, right? Boston, all those guys. Xavier freaking McDaniel. I mean, all those guys, right? Then the game evolved. Basketball's always been a man's sport. It's always been more popular. We've had a head start to evolve. Women's basketball has taken a long time to catch up. They were not into basketball back then. There was no WNBA. There was some college teams. They weren't even on, TV.
Nope.
But now they're starting to evolve. They're starting to catch up. I see it in my leagues. I have a couple girls that play with my boys and outshine them a lot of times because the skills are catching up to the boys. They're never going to be as athletically gifted. And I might catch heat for that, but I'm not, I will never say there's going to be a woman that can play in the men's game. But they're as close as they've ever been. The talent is higher than it's ever been, and it's only getting better each year because now they're starting to train themselves, their bodies, like the men do now, where it's not, we're going to play for 3 months and then I'm going to be off for 7 months and then I'll come back and work for a couple months. Now, like Caitlin Clark, that's year round. She doesn't stop. Like, if you look at her training regimen that she does, it's insane. It's like on some Kobe Bryant shit. But that's why she's able to do what she's doing, and there's so many more women that are adapting that now.
Yeah.
I think that the game is only going to get better. Are we ever going to see girls coming down doing 360 windmills? Not in our lifetime. Maybe 50 years from now, but not right now. But as far as just the straight fundamentals of the game, the excitement of the game, like if you look 20 freaking years ago, the scores were like 40 to 55.
Yeah.
It's just now they're 100 points. They are balling out.
I'm interested to see, after all of these great female players leave the college ranks after this year, who's coming in to take their spots, because we haven't heard of them yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been focused around these elite 6 to 8 women who are now going to be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. What's going to take place in college now? Mm-hmm. Is it going to go back to, okay, well, we don't care anymore still?
Right.
Who's carrying the torch? Mm-hmm. Who's bringing it back?
Yeah.
In the NBA, you always have the young guys that come back.
Right.
There's always somebody to replace somebody. Mm-hmm. We may not see it in the women's game because is as new, and all the girls that we have come to respect and watch over the last 2 seasons, they're all now in the WNBA. I'm afraid that it may go back.
I don't think it will. I think that the spotlight has been shown on them so bright this year. I think that they're going to make it a point to make sure that there is always somebody that can carry the torch. There's always a player that they can shine a spotlight on or two. There's always going to be the next one up. You know what I'm saying? Now, are we going to have as many? Now, this year was just crazy because there was so many of them.
Yeah.
Paige Beckers, and like I said, you know what I'm saying? There was just Brink and Cardosa and freaking Caitlin Clark, and there was just so many of them. But even if you look on South Carolina, there's 3 or 4 girls on there that if Cardosa wasn't on there, they would have got the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Iowa, it was all Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? UConn had a few girls too. It wasn't just Cameron Brink. There was a few girls on there.
Yeah.
She was just a superstar. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think it's at the point now where the women's game is, they're still behind the men, but they're catching up to the men. Their athleticism, their training, all this stuff, like I said, where the men have been doing this since the 80s and 90s, and now they're evolved. The men's game is so much different now than it was back in 85.
Yeah, but a lot of it is with highlights.
Mm-hmm.
The game itself is the game itself.
No, the game is way different. But the game now is the 3-point shot. There's no big men that are posting up anymore. In the 80s, that's all it was.
No, but it's the 3-point shot, and that's why the women's game is catching up, because athletically, that's what the women can do outside of the norm. You got the shooters now. You can shoot from deep. Okay, that brings fans in. It's like home run hitters hitting the long ball. We want to see the long ball.
Right.
Okay, we want to see Caitlin Clark shoot from 35 feet because that's awesome.
Yeah.
But you're still not getting in the women's game. You're not getting dunks. You're not getting all of these flashy moves everywhere.
I'd rather not, but the thing is not freaking have dunks though, because you're going to get a whack ass dunk. I don't want to see that.
Well, no, but you don't see a lot of the athletic jumping, running, huge block shots from out of nowhere because it's not there. You see shooting.
Right.
NBA, you've got all of it, depending on what team you're watching at any given night.
That's because the NBA, just like I have been saying, all the players in the NBA have been programmed to be one-on-one players. It's not a team game.
No,
it's not. Whereas the women's game is a team game. It's completely different styles. Just like, LeBron James is going to have a chase down block that's going to be, crazy. He's also going to shoot the ball fucking 35 times a night. You know what I'm saying? And it's like in the women's game, you're not going to have that. Caitlin Clark might do it.
Yeah.
But other than that, your best player on the team might get 15 attempts. Yeah. They spread the ball around. They played the game like it should be for your plate. It's a team game.
Yeah.
And the NBA is one-on-one ISO, dribble the ball out, try to beat somebody off the dribble, and put up a crazy shot.
The
James Harden. Oh my God, that dude drive me crazy.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Tyreek Evans used to do that shit with the Kings. Used to drive me nuts. I'm like, dude, you dribble the ball for 15 seconds, you don't have a shot, and you finally pass it off. Someone catches it with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
But I will say, with going from college to WNBA with Caitlin Clark, there's going to be more eyes on the WNBA just because of her.
Well,
this is the first time that I will actually say this. I wouldn't mind watching a WNBA game with Caitlin Clark in it because of what she can do. Because I like the long shots. I like the fact that you can try to step back and take a 30-footer and just be the Steph Curry of the WNBA.
There's going to be a lot of veterans hating on her, and I can't wait to see that too, especially when she puts up fucking 30 on them.
Correct. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. But that's the only thing that I would even care to watch.
Right.
Everything else, it's just lazy layups, or it's like half speed.
Right.
And there's not a lot of flair.
Right. What I was seeing, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of pissed me off. Jamel Hill. I can't stand her.
Used to be on ESPN.
She makes everything about race. And she said the only reason that Caitlin Clark was getting this recognition is because she's a little white girl, doing this. Now, number one, well, there is a couple of things. Number one, and you guys know me, I'm the most non-racist person in this world. My wife is black. I have 6 kids. Obviously, they're all freaking mixed. I am so tired of every damn thing coming back to race. She's getting recognition because she's out there busting everybody's ass that she goes against, because she puts in the work, because she trains her ass off, and she can do things that no one else can do. That's what it is. What frustrates me about that is if there was a white analyst that came out and said, Angel Reese is only getting this exposure because she's a ghetto black girl, they would lose their job the next day.
Oh.
They would never work in the sports industry ever again. Grant Hill, which I didn't even like, but he lost his career because he said all lives matter.
Grant Napier.
Grant Hill. Grant Napier. Because he said all lives matter.
Yeah.
Lost his career.
Yeah.
He was the Kings announcer for like 20 years. Lost his career.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the double standard. It's frustrating. Give everybody their props that deserve their props. I don't give a damn if they're black, white, yellow. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
If they deserve to get their props, get their props. If they deserve to be bashed, bash them. Stop making everything about freaking race. I'm tired of it.
Yeah, you see it a lot in the sports world.
Big time.
And you see a lot
because
of
it's clickbait.
Yeah, and it's a lot from the black announcers or the black analysts or whatever you want to say it. On ESPN, they're the 3-point shooter from Charlotte forever. Man, he's on First Take every now and then, battling against Stephen A. Smith and the other jokers. He has come in with, I guess you would call a white take every now and then. And it kind of puts him in a hole. It puts Stephen A. Smith on the defensive, and it puts Booger McFarland on the defensive, or whoever else is in there.
Right.
And it's good to see finally, because someone's finally speaking up. You can't keep doing this bullshit. I mean, it's not a black on white crime thing here. I mean, if you're going to be good, you're going to be good regardless of the race you are. I mean, I have issues with run first, pass second quarterbacks. Those are 99% black. Okay. Doesn't mean I don't like black quarterbacks. Jordan loves a black quarterback. I sort of like him now. Okay. But he's not a run first, pass second guy. He is a throw the ball first. And then if I have to scramble out, which he didn't do very often.
Right.
But he's going to throw the ball. I like pocket passers. Okay. I don't like Lamar Jackson because he's run first, pass second, and I think he's trash.
Right.
Yes, he's got the MVP twice, which to this day still kills me because I cannot believe that even happened. Because he's a one-trick pony, and it's running because he's athletic. Michael Vick, same way. He was athletic. He could run past everybody. He couldn't throw it for shit.
Oh no, he had a freaking cannon on him. He
had a cannon, but he still couldn't throw it for shit.
I just wish that, and it'll freaking never happen. When people talk about anybody, just leave the race out of it. It doesn't have to be a black quarterback, a white quarterback. It's a quarterback. That's it. That's it.
My all-time favorite receiver, Jordy Nelson. White dude with speed. Awesome dude. Great dude. Would he have been what he was without Aaron Rodgers? Who knows? But he's got it with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he does everything for the communities. He does everything for Green Bay and for his hometown from Texas, or Kansas State, actually. I mean, that dude is just a great dude, and I would love to meet him someday.
Dude, if there was, it's funny because if there was one person that I could freaking meet that I think a lot of people got a misconception on, I would love to meet Marshawn Lynch. You want to talk about somebody that does a lot of shit for his community. That dude does stuff constantly for his community, doesn't get recognition for it. Cameras aren't there, but he does stuff for his community and he lives in a bad community. He comes from, St. Oakland, and he does stuff constantly. On top of the fact he's hilarious, just a good ass dude. I would love to meet Marshawn Lynch. So Marshawn, come on, my guy, come on to Man Cave. Let's go. It ain't that far of a drive, baby. I'll send a driver to come pick you up. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll even buy some Skittles.
There you go. We got to get into the hobby real quick. There's not a whole lot to talk about right now.
Basketball cards are going through the roof because of Wemby.
Wemby cards are ridiculous, man. It's so frustrating because the price of the cards are so outrageous, and he's literally the only player you're chasing. The only player.
Correct. That's it.
There's a couple decent players, but as far as value for cards, he's the only one that you are chasing. At least in football, you have C.J. Stroud, you have other quarterbacks, Will Levis, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, that still have value, and you have a lot of other skill, positions that you can hit that whole value. Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid. In basketball, it is one player.
It is one. But with the football side, especially with the high-end products now, the Immaculates, the Impeccables that have come out, obviously National Treasures and Flawless is coming at some point in time. It's auto-based. It's centralized to the autos.
Yep.
And you're missing...
Which you don't have.
You're missing the three best autos. You're missing Levis and Young and Stroud. You're chasing Anthony Richardson.
But that's how it's going to be until Fanatics takes over in 2026. It's going to be the same thing next year, because next year's quarterback class is going to be freaking crazy until they pan out who's actually going to be good. But until then, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, all their cards are going to be sky high, and the products next year are going to be worse than this year because there's more quarterbacks, which drive the freaking product. And Flawless next year, I don't even want to think about, because Flawless this year was freaking 17,000.
Well, that was last year's.
And that was last year's.
Yeah.
Next year, when it has Wemby and they have the freaking NBA logo in there, it's, even though there's no auto, those are going to be 25 grand for 10 cards.
Yeah.
It's stupid that people are still buying them. Like last year, I bought almost every product that, came out. Immaculate, Impeccable. The only one I didn't buy was Flawless, but every other product I bought.
Have you got Immaculate this year?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not got almost anything this year because I'm so disgusted with the pricing. It's like, I've been saying this, Panini is using breakers. I don't blame the breakers. I blame Panini. They are pricing these products so outrageously expensive. The WWE was fucking $900.
It's still sitting on Panini.
Still sitting on the website. It's so stupid. Like, I was going to get a box of that because WWE sells really well at my shows. But I'm like, dude, you're 90% chance you're going to lose money. On the NBA products, you're 99% chance you're going to lose money.
Unless you hit Wemby of some sort
and
any NBA product, there is no doubt that you're going to lose.
And it's something else I cannot stand. I am so sick of these products that are $1,000, $1,500. You're getting 6, 7, 8 cards. The patches, none of them are game used. Most of the autos are on stickers, which anything above $750 shouldn't even have sticker autos. Everything should be on card. I'm tired of getting parallels numbered to freaking $199. That's basically a base card. I'm so tired of these stupid ass high numbers on these expensive products. Unless it's Flawless, which only number them to 25, which who can afford that unless you're in a break?
Yeah, all the high end stuff should be numbered to at least, I would say, not even to 99, like
50.
50 or lower.
50. That's it.
Anything that has the colors to shoot the rainbow with, which, I mean, try to get a rainbow out of Optic or Prism or Select or whatever. It's almost impossible because there's...
Unless you start with the 101.
Correct. There's so many versions.
Yep.
I mean, you've got all of the retail stuff. You've got all of the discos, the no huddles or the fast break. You got all the mega boxes.
Yeah.
You got blaster boxes. You got all of these. There's so many different guys.
And on the freaking high end on Prism, could I not get an offensive lineman gold prism, please?
Yeah.
Seriously, can I please not get an offensive lineman? I'm so sick of that too. Like, prism is so hard to pull anything good. You know, you get fucking 10 boxes, you might get one good box. And then you're going through, and you know, you always shift the cards and you see a gold. You're like, oh, dude, I get a gold. Oh, this could be huge. Some fucking lineman for the Jaguars, you're like, thanks for a gold prism that's worth $7.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It is so frustrating.
What used to be the sets that people actually make sets with. I mean, I've collected prism since 2014. I missed 2012 and 2013. But from then on, from 14 to 24, I made sure to make a complete set. I have a complete set for 10 years. To do that nowadays is really difficult because even trying to get the base cards is hard because you can't buy all the product all the time. So I got
a hobby box is $1,000,
and you don't get.
No,
I mean, with the sets being 400 cards deep instead of 200 cards deep, which they should be, because nobody cares about the fat linemen.
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
Yes, I want them on my team that are good.
Yeah.
Okay, to protect.
You don't need to have a 400 card base set.
But you got to have the skill players. Okay, have the skill players from your teams.
Right.
We don't need all the fat linemen.
Nope.
We don't need coaches.
Don't care about them.
Don't need coaches.
Don't need the rookie photo shoot. Don't need that.
Nope.
Don't need it.
I agree.
Don't need kickers. Don't need them.
Definitely don't need punters. I don't mind. No. I don't mind a couple of kickers.
I don't want a damn kicker.
Okay.
I don't want them.
I love Mason Crosby.
I don't want them. You can have them.
And Justin Tucker's kind of cool.
You can have them.
But
I get pissed when I pull a kicker auto.
Okay.
I get so mad.
But at least those kickers score. Punters don't score.
No.
Congratulations, you dropped one inside the 5.
Yeah.
Go tear your Achilles on a jumping around because I did that.
I hate it. I hate it. I'm so tired of getting defensive linemen and offensive linemen in a product, and it's like it's your one low number card. You get it to 25, and you're like, if this was Bijan Robinson, this is a $300 card, but it's an offensive freaking lineman or a defensive lineman, and even if they're good, you get an Aaron Donald, $25.
Yeah, it's still. I mean,
it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I completely.
It's like, oh my god, dude.
See, with all of the new stuff coming out for basketball, Revolution just came out.
Terrible.
It's $200.
It's cheap.
It's $200 a box,
but you're not guaranteed an auto or mem or anything.
Correct. You've got a couple of parallels in there. But the thing is any Wemby you pull, if you can grade it a 10, it's probably $150.
No, dude. Even I got a few out right now. Even the worst product that comes out to me each year is Score and Donruss. They're just paper products, hoops, super cheap, right? I got 2 Wimbies and a couple other just base cards at PSA right now because a PSA 10 base card right now is going for $190 on Donruss. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I have a hoops PSA 10.
It's so stupid, man. Like, oh my gosh.
Maybe the better idea is to maybe just get the retail versions of these things. And believe it or not, on Target's website, I just picked up a bunch of boxes of Revolution. They're $25. I get like the team member discount of 10%. I get my 5% red card or whatever. It comes down to like $23.
Yep.
If I pull one Wemby and get it graded to a 10, probably $100.
Yep.
I mean, I might just nickel and dime people that way.
Yep.
I mean,
no, it is. It's frustrating, and unfortunately, I think it's only going to get worse because, like I said, they're going to squeeze every freaking penny out of people they can until they lose their license.
They're doing a really good job right now.
Doing a really good job.
Okay. To bash on Panini some more, there are 2 more things that I cannot stand about Panini currently. First off, using the same pictures from multiple sets from past years in this year's products.
Putting cards from different products.
That's the second one.
Oh my god, dude.
The first one is just using the same damn photo because your lazy asses can't go get another photo to put on a big time card. We're going to use the Donruss photo and put on a flawless card. Get the shit out of here. I want a new photo. I want a better photo because it's on a $10,000 box over your $200 box of Donruss.
Yep.
Okay. And you brought into the second one. When I buy a box of Immaculate, I don't want to see a Donruss auto in there.
No.
And what's happening is they've got all these autos that are scattered all over Panini's floor that they are just randomly selecting and putting them in big time boxes and say, hey, here's your hit.
Hey, that's your hit.
Complete and utter bullshit.
That, or you get 250 points instead of one auto that you're supposed to get.
Correct.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
The points are out of control because you cannot buy shit with the points until maybe white sparkle packs come in.
Yeah, and then you have to have 5,000 of them for fucking 3 cards.
Correct.
It's stupid.
So Panini, someone has got to check Panini on the fact that when we buy an expensive box of cards, immaculate, impeccable, what have you, I want the number of cards. So impeccable, I want 6 impeccable cards.
Right.
I don't want 5 in a Donruss card that
Nobody wants.
came off your floor 2 days ago.
Yep.
Absolute bullshit, and someone's got to check them on that.
Yep.
I don't know how to do it, but someone's got to get into their ass.
Yeah, I agree. It is, like I've been saying for years, it's damn near criminal. It is ridiculous.
It is.
Now he's checking the freaking score to see that we're losing probably. Oh, my God. See?
No, we are up 1 with 2:27 left.
Oh, my God, dude. It's so bad.
And Domas currently does not have his double-double.
Oh, wow. That'll be a huge streak.
He has 8 points and 13 rebounds.
Oh,
and 5 assists.
He'll get one more basket. They'll make sure of it.
And 5 turnovers.
Wow. He's going to have a triple-double the wrong way.
Shooting foul at DeMontis, Chet Holmgren to shoot 2 free throws. They are going to lose the lead in a moment.
Wow. All right, you guys. That's all for today's show. I think we vented enough. I appreciate you guys tuning in.
Oh, hold on. I got to cut you off real quick.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what our bet was because we didn't make one, but I smoked your ass.
For what?
NC2A tournament. UConn won.
Yeah, they did win.
Owned you.
Well, Houston's main player got hurt. That kind of made a difference.
Not my problem.
It's not your problem, but it is what it is. So he wins one time. He was cold as hell the last month. But with that being said, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Do not forget, send your topics, send any questions that you guys have, anything that you would like Tim and I to discuss. You know what to do. I don't have any Hennessy with me today, so I'm just going to hold this up and say, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. Get out of my house.